Hello and welcome, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is that you may be in the world at this time. My name is Ron Hoppy. I'm the CEO of Worldwide HealthStaff Solutions, and I'm very excited for us to be able to spend this time together today. And it's my hope that we will share information that will be practical and helpful to you as you make plans for the year ahead that's at hand, 2024. I hope 2023 has been a good year for everyone. Here at Worldwide HealthStaff, it's been a very good year. Lots of challenges, lots of accomplishments, lots of opportunities. We're very grateful for each of those. We're very grateful for each of the candidates that we have the privilege of working with. And I'm grateful for those of you that are joining us today for this information-packed session, preparing for success in 2024. Just before we jump in, a couple of things that I'd like to bring to your attention that may be helpful for you as we go along today. We will have time to take some questions at the end of this presentation. So as questions come to mind, please just share those using the chat section of your screen, and we'll do our best to respond. As you join this morning, also, we always ask candidates to let us know where they're joining us from. We always find it very, very interesting to see all the different countries that are represented on our various webinar presentations. So if you'd be kind enough to just take a moment and do that, we'd certainly appreciate it. During the time of our live presentation today, in the chat section of your screen, you'll see a yellow box on my screen. It's kind of in the top of that. We call it our Post-it note or sticky note. You'll see there's a link there. If you're interested at any point during our conversation today or even afterwards to connect live with one of our health staff recruiters, just click on that link. We have live recruiters standing by that would be happy to answer any other questions that you may have or just be able to direct you regarding next steps. We also have a very exciting referral rewards program. You'll see a link there on how to get more information and how you can refer a nurse friend and get paid quickly for doing so. And then obviously a link to our Facebook page. We're really super excited. We've just surpassed 100,000 likes. And if you haven't already liked us on Facebook, we'd appreciate you doing that today, either during this presentation or sometime shortly thereafter. And then if you're in a position where you do want to apply, you're ready to apply, there's a link there as well where you can just click on that link, provide us with some very basic information, attach your resume, and a member of our recruiting team will be in touch with you. So with that being said, let's jump right into the presentation for today. We have a lot of information to cover. I'm going to go through it really quite quickly. And just also should share that for you that have joined us here today live, as well as everyone that's registered for this event, you'll be receiving an email with a link to a recording of this presentation probably around this same time tomorrow within the next 24 hours. So you can feel free to review this presentation or parts of it at your convenience. And you're also very, very welcome to share this link with any of your nursing friends or colleagues that you think may be interested and may benefit from the information that we'll be sharing today. So with that being said, the first thought I'd like to share today is that in 2024, nursing truly is a global career. It doesn't matter where you were educated, where you are currently working, and it doesn't matter where in the world you would be interested in being located, living and working in the future. Nurses have opportunities all around the world, most commonly in the Gulf region, in an increasing number of countries in Europe, Australia, New Zealand, and obviously USA and Canada. As you consider your career options, I would just make one cautionary comment, and that relates to Canada. And we've had many inquiries from foreign or international nurses that have gone to Canada and then are reaching out to us in great frustration when they find out it's very difficult to get licensed there. So I'm not saying not to consider Canada, but just heads up and be aware. The immigration process to Canada really is not that complicated. And registered nurses, in fact, if you meet a number of other requirements related to age and education and English language scores, you can actually get to Canada without even having a job offer from a Canadian employer. So that's the good news. The not so good news is Canada has very arduous licensure requirements that requires almost all nurses to take additional education. So if you are considering Canada, my suggestion would be research that very carefully and make sure that you have a very good understanding of exactly what your path may be to get to Canada. But the focus of our discussion today is really the reasons why you should be considering the United States. And while the slides and my comments today are geared primarily to registered nurses, generally the same ideas and concepts and principles apply for other healthcare professionals as well. So as a nurse, considering your opportunities in 2024 in all these different countries that I mentioned, reasons to consider the United States. I think a super important consideration is the fact that nurses arrive in the United States as a permanent resident. You arrive as a permanent resident, you can bring your family with you. Your family has permanent residency status as well. And when you consider, the options in many other countries, the ability to arrive on day one as a permanent resident, I think, is one of the main attractive features for nurses from around the world to consider living and working in the U.S. The U.S. provides a clear path to citizenship for you and your family, and healthcare professions generally, and nursing in particular, are very respected professions in the United States. That's not something that can be said of all countries. And as a professional, obviously, striving towards having this level of professional recognition and respect is important. So these are some of the key reasons to consider living and working in the United States. Some additional reasons are attractive compensation and benefits. Nurse salaries in the U.S. have increased pretty significantly in the last number of years, as have benefits. If you are a nurse that was born and educated in the Philippines, you will find very large Filipino communities all across the United States. You know, when we first started at Worldwide HealthStaff 25 years ago, nurses very clearly had a very limited number of locations that they were interested in going to because of historic migration patterns. This has changed dramatically, and there are, as I said, large Filipino communities nationwide. And the American dream is alive and well. The American dream refers to this idea that if you work hard, that if you conduct your affairs responsibly, that you have virtually unlimited opportunities for yourself personally. That includes things such as home ownership, university level education for your children, the opportunity for professional advancement, and the American dream is indeed alive and well. So these are some key reasons why you should consider moving to the U.S. if that's on your radar for something that you want to pursue in 2024. So preparing for success, let's talk about some of the key things that you can do right now to put yourself in the best possible position to be considered by the best employers here in the United States. First and foremost, I want to take a moment and speak about work experience. Work experience is something that U.S. employers really place a very, very high priority on. The reality is the United States has a nursing shortage, but that shortage does not apply equally across the workforce and across clinical departments. U.S. employers are able to hire domestic new grads in numbers that are sufficient for their ability to accommodate new grads. Where U.S. employers struggle and where the shortage really exists is in that portion of the workforce that has 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, or 10 years of experience, where nurses can come, have this experience, and adjust and contribute to the workforce in a very, very timely manner. So in the realm of work experience, we are contacted by many applicants that maybe worked as a registered nurse at some point in the past, and now for various reasons they're not working as a registered nurse. Please know that all employers, the employers that we work with, they place a stronger emphasis on current experience in relation to past experience. It doesn't mean that past experience isn't considered. It is, and it is important. But what it is that you're doing now is the first thing that an employer will look at, and it is so very, very important. So if you're currently working in a bedside position, don't stop. Keep going. I know there's opportunities for registered nurses in some countries now to work in various settings where the employment is financially more attractive, but it's taking you away from the bedside. If you're not currently working at the bedside, my encouragement to you would be to try and find an opportunity where you could maybe pick up even some casual shifts in an acute care setting, maybe a shift a week or 2 shifts a month. Anything that you could do in that regard to ensure that you have some current and ongoing bedside experience is going to very, very significantly improve the attention and the consideration that your application may get. Again, as I mentioned, bedside direct patient care versus other RN roles. And if you are currently at the bedside, please make every effort to remain there, continue to build your experience and your clinical skills. This will pay off for you in a very, very significant way as you go forward. So work experience probably is the number one thing or one of the top things that you can do to help prepare yourself for success in 2024. Most of you are probably familiar with the basic qualifications for employment in the United States. It starts with having to take and pass the NCLEX exam. If you've already done that, congratulations. That's an awesome accomplishment. And you're in a position where you can begin to move forward. If you have not taken NCLEX, that is really the most important or the highest priority thing for you to focus on, certainly well ahead of English language exams and visa screen. Those things can follow later, but NCLEX is the thing that is required for any employer to be able to file an immigration petition for you. Here at Worldwide HealthStaff Solutions, we do not require candidates to have passed an English language exam before we will have an immigration application filed by your sponsoring employer on your behalf. So please know that. We will support you through the English language exam process. There's been a number of English language exams that have been added in 2023, but it's important to understand not only these additional tests, but which tests to take based on where it is that you're hoping to be employed, etc. So we here at HealthStaff have a team that will advise and support you through that process. And then once you've passed NCLEX, once you've passed the English language exam, then the next thing or the third thing here to focus on is the visa screen certificate itself. And again, we have a team here that supports our candidates in completing that requirement. Also, in preparing for success in 2024 is to come to an understanding of the truth that all job offers are not created equal. This is something that we've been touting for many, many years. Unfortunately, we still occasionally, less than in the past, but we still hear from candidates that have been attracted by various offers from so-called recruiters, only to find that those offers are not what they expected, that they've been promised things that aren't happening or sometimes aren't even possible. So in preparing for success, it is important that you invest some time in your future and educate yourself on really understanding job offers from U.S. employers. A lot of job advertisements will try to attract candidates by saying and by using the word free. This is free. This test is free. Everything is free. Well, free is not really free. In some cases, some recruiters may be paying for some expenses on your behalf up front, or they may be reimbursing you. But rest assured that in that business model, whatever it is that they're spending, they're getting that back either through a fee that they're receiving from the employer. And in most cases, if it's in the case of a staffing agency, it's going to come in the form of your hourly rate of pay being somewhat reduced from what it would otherwise be if in fact you were receiving the full rate of pay that staffing agency is getting on your behalf from the employer. So in this regard, as you're educating yourself about different opportunities, understanding job offers, it's also very important that you understand the difference between direct hire and staffing agency. There's great information on the HealthStaff website at healthstaff.org. If you go to the applicant section, and you'll find there information on direct hire, on staffing agencies, on how to evaluate a job offer. Invest 30 minutes, invest an hour in your future. Visit those web pages and educate yourself. And what I've found in my travels around the world this year is, the direct hire model has definitely become the preferred model for international recruitment, both by U.S. employers as well as by candidates around the world. And again, in evaluating information that you're receiving from various recruiters and various staffing agencies, be sure that you test that information and that you investigate. A candidate recently told me or asked me the question, said, "Sir, I was just speaking with a staffing agency and they said that direct hire or Worldwide HealthStaff is only recruiting single candidates." Well, that's complete nonsense. That's simply not true. So as you hear different things, and if you're not sure, if it doesn't sound quite right, feel free to reach out. We'd be happy to share our perspective. But whatever you do, please take the time to educate yourself. There's also the CGFNS Alliance for Ethical Healthcare Recruitment. There's some great resources you can find there, as well as the American Association of International Healthcare Recruitment. Also some great resources you can find there on how to ensure that you're dealing with a credible agency and that you have a clear understanding of what it is that you're signing up for. You know, just on this point, the last thing that I will say is that experience matters. You know, the last number of years, there's been a very strong demand for international nurses in the U.S., and whenever that happens, there's always an array of new recruitment firms that spring up that see this as an opportunity to make some fast money, see this as an opportunity, you know, in a very opportunistic way. The immigration process has never been more complex than it is today. The licensure process has never been more complex than it is today, and experience matters. And here at Worldwide HealthStaff, we're celebrating our 25th year anniversary of providing direct hire international recruitment services. So our team definitely does have that very, very valuable experience that you can benefit from on your journey to the United States. I started off by speaking about how nursing has become a global career. And I want to share also, just for those of you that may not be looking to relocate to the U.S. immediately, or you may be looking for an opportunity abroad that you can maybe get to more quickly, even while your U.S. application is in process. And I just want to share with everyone on this presentation that HealthStaff is a global recruiter. We have offices in the Philippines. We have offices in the Gulf, as well as here in the U.S. Today, we are recruiting, obviously, for many, many positions in all corners of the healthcare system in the U.S., but we're now also recruiting for positions in the Gulf, in the Middle East. So if you're one of those candidates that is looking for opportunities to improve yourself financially and maybe even socially, but you don't yet have the necessary requirements for starting an application to the U.S., we're now able to support you and connect you with great opportunities in the Gulf region, and then support you in meeting meeting the various U.S. requirements while you're in the Gulf region and starting your U.S. application from wherever you may be in that part of the world. So wherever it is that you want to go, don't hesitate to reach out to HealthStaff, and we'll certainly be able to assist you or connect you with someone that will be able to assist you promptly. In 2023, we've placed at HealthStaff a great priority. We made it a very high priority to ensure that we're delivering the best level of personal service to every one of our applicants. Initial inquiries are fielded by our recruitment team. As soon as a candidate accepts a job offer, they're partnered with a dedicated case manager on our team. We've, in 2023, relocated a significant part of our case management team to the Philippines to be closer to our candidates. So that is a positive thing as well. And at the embassy interview stage, you will be partnered with one from our relocation and onboarding teams. So you'll have support in preparing not only for your physical relocation, but you'll have support for your onboarding with your new client, preparing for that. There's some training modules that we have. all things that we do as part of our service support that we provide to candidates. Again, this falls under the heading of it's important to choose the right recruiter to be successful in 2024. I've mentioned some resources in terms of where you can check out recruiting firms. I'll just say in terms of the CGFNS Alliance for Ethical Healthcare Recruiting, if you go to their website and there's a recruitment agency that's not certified by the CGFNS Alliance, just walk away. There's any number of good, credible agencies that are licensed and credentialed by CGFNS, and I would urge you in the strongest terms possible that whatever you do, that you're at least working with one of the recruitment agencies that's part of the CGFNS Alliance. Our focus is on getting you to the U.S. ASAP, right? There's parts of your immigration journey that you impact and control. There's parts of that we impact and control. And then there's parts of the immigration journey that neither you or us can impact or control. But we are laser focused on ensuring that those things that we can impact and control, that we're moving through those and accomplishing those together with you as quickly as possible. The most common question we get both from U.S. employers and applicants is, what's the processing time, right? And whether the processing time is 12 months or 15 months or the visa bulletin is current, it still takes time to process an application. And when the question is asked, how long is the processing time? The answer is it's always too long. However long it is, it's too long. It should be faster. But to the extent that we can, together with you, make that process move as quickly and smoothly as possible, we're going to work very, very diligently to get through this difficult process with you. One of the ways we do this is through internal process optimization. Within our organization, we've developed an immigration roadmap that is shared with each one of our candidates that accepts a job offer. We're increasingly using data, advanced use of data analytics to support our efforts in continuous process improvement. In 2024, we're excited. We're going to be launching an applicant portal, effectively an applicant app, so that you'll be very, very easily able to not only communicate with and interact with us, but candidates in process from their phone will be very easily able to monitor and track the progress of their application, make inquiries, and receive updates from us. As you consider what's needed to prepare for success in 2024, we also have resources in place that will help you be successful in the areas of English language test preparation. We've got a fantastic English language prep program that's led by Carrie Cooper. If you're not already tuning in on Thursdays, Carrie has a live Facebook session on Thursday mornings where she's doing free English language classes. We'd love to connect you with that. If you're not already familiar, please check it out. Carrie's previous lessons are also on our YouTube channel. So we make a very strong commitment to supporting our candidates with English language test prep. We support our candidates with embassy interview preparation. We have a pre-orientation education program before you arrive in the U.S. so that when you do report for work at your employer, you'll be in the best possible position to integrate into their workforce as quickly as possible. And then we have a very extensive relocation support program that begins even before you depart for the U.S. We'll help you plan for all the different things you need to be considering as part of that process. We're with you through that process. We're with you after that process once you arrive. And we have a retention team in place that will be available to you and will be checking in with you regularly over the course of your first year here in the U.S. So we're very proud of our relocation support program and look forward to sharing more about that with every one of our candidates. There is a nursing shortage in the United States. Again, the nursing shortage isn't distributed equally across all geographies or all clinical areas. The point I want to make here for you is that there are many opportunities available to you. So why wouldn't you want to ensure that you're pursuing the very best of opportunities? So if a recruitment agency is telling you they've got this great opportunity for you, but you've got to accept it today or tomorrow, or it's going to go away and it's never going to come back again, that's nonsense. Don't fall for that. You have choices probably more than any international nurses have had in the past. And here at HealthStaff, we're super excited because we believe that we're able to offer more positions than any other recruitment agency by virtue of our very, very extensive network of clients. Our clients span acute care hospitals from academic medical centers and general hospitals. We deal with specialty hospitals that provide acute inpatient behavioral health and rehabilitation services. We work and have many opportunities in the long-term care sector. We have a tremendous amount of opportunities in the dialysis space, increasingly in the hospital at home, home care type of programs. So whatever opportunities you're pursuing, I would simply and humbly request, please check in with a health staff recruiter and see what positions that we may have available for you at the present time. They're changing all the time. They're growing all the time. But why not take the time and ensure that you have access to the best possible opportunities. We have more positions, as I mentioned, with more employers. Here's just a couple of names of very few of the employers that we're working with in different parts of the country. Whatever your interest is, whatever your experience level is, we have an employer that would be interested in speaking with you if you meet, sort of the baseline requirements. So more positions with more employers in more locations. We're currently recruiting for positions in 49 states, including Hawaii and Alaska. Now, there's not every position available in every state, but we have progressed to the point where we literally have some positions available in every state. And again, we'd welcome the opportunity of sharing that with you. I referenced the fact that HealthStaff is a global employer. The HealthStaff Global Career Ladder, I touched on that just very briefly, where we can now support candidates whose ultimate goal is the U.S., but who may have an in-between goal of working somewhere else in the world. We can certainly assist with that as well. And just as we head into 2024, maybe on a bit of a personal note, right? I think one of the great qualifications or one of the great criteria of being prepared for success is also being concerned about and helping those around you be successful. So what I've characterized as be a friend, help a friend. If you have nursing friends or colleagues that may be interested in employment abroad, we'd certainly appreciate you letting them know about the worldwide HealthStaff opportunities. At the end of this presentation, there will be information on a fantastic referral rewards program that we have had for about a year, or a little bit more than a year now. It has been very, very successful. Many hundreds of candidates have received referral rewards payouts in just the last 12 or 14 months. I'm not sure the exact number. I think it's in excess of 400. It's just been a really well-received program. So as you think about your success, think about how it is that you might be able to support your friends and colleagues being successful as well. And part of that would be to have them introduced to us. We'd love to speak with them. Getting started, if you've taken the NCLEX exam and passed, again, congratulations. We'd love to hear from you. Again, there's in the chat section at the top there in the yellow box, there's information on how you can apply. If you've not yet taken the NCLEX exam, that's your number one priority. English test doesn't matter, visa screen doesn't matter, employers, job offers, none of that matters until you've taken the NCLEX exam. Our licensure team would be happy to provide you with information on, the states for which the best states in which to apply for the NCLEX exam. Our English language team will advise you as to which English language tests you should take if that's a requirement in this process. So the first thing is to get started. If you've taken NCLEX, you're in a good spot. If you haven't taken NCLEX, getting started means preparing for taking and passing the NCLEX exam. In closing, as you think about 2024 and the opportunities ahead, I'm very, very confident that working together, that you and your family, together with the HealthStaff team, can make your American dream a reality, that you can say my American dream has been accomplished, and that we can do that in the shortest possible time. So I'm going to stop there. We've got a few minutes available to take some questions. So I'm going to ask my colleague CJ, who's supporting me on our presentation today and who's been monitoring the chat, to just relay any questions that might have come in.
Okay, Ron. Yeah, thanks for the presentation. That's really great. So I've always seen like a few questions. I think this one is one of the good questions out there. So the question is, can WWHSS provide me with a job as an RN in any of the GCC countries to support my finances while waiting for my immigration process in the United States?
So the answer is yes and no. We don't have employer contracts in every GCC country, but we do have employer contracts in the UAE, in Saudi Arabia, and in Qatar. So these are certainly places that we can immediately support candidates that have an interest in such opportunities, and we welcome those applications as well.
Okay. And next question is, this one is also a general questions like all the time. The question is, how long does this whole process take?
Yeah. As I said during the presentation, too long. But no, in all seriousness, processing times are established by the U.S. State Department. And some of you may be familiar with the monthly visa bulletin. This is a publication that the State Department issues, and it indicates from month to month what the current processing times are. Some of you may also be familiar with the term retrogression. A retrogression occurs anytime there are more visa applications in process than there are available visas to be issued. Remember, the United States has an annual quota of visas, a limit on the number of visas. And when the number of applications in the queue are longer than the number of available applications, we get this condition called retrogression. Very good news this week is that the visa priority dates have advanced Currently, the U.S. government is issuing visas to for applications that were filed as recently as August of 2022, which means that processing times currently are about 15 or 16 months. That is approximately the timeline that we've seen even through most of the pandemic and most of the time since the pandemic. There was a couple of months earlier this year where the processing dates were delayed and they were backlogged for a few months all the way back to 2020. But we're back to having visa processing times in that 15 to 18 month timeline. And CJ, the last thing I'll just say about the process and how long it takes, right? Sometimes the process is faster, sometimes the process is slower, but the process works. And that's important to know because visa applications are essentially processed on a first come, first served basis. So I'll make this short. The sooner you start your petition and have a petition filed, the sooner you're going to get your visa. So yes, processing times matter, but if you don't yet have an employer and an immigration petition filed on your behalf, the number one thing you need to do is to get that done. Because until that's done, processing times don't matter because it's infinite, right? The clock only starts running once a petition has been filed.
Yes, correct. And I agree with Ron. Like the process works. I am a revelation. My wife is a worldwide health staff nurse, and we are now living our American dream here in the United States. And yes, we're done with our last question. And I just want to remind you to like us on Facebook for future announcements and webinars that we have. And also, we have this refer a nurse program that if you refer an NCLEX nurse, you will have like earn up to $250. So Ron, the last question is, what if I'm currently working in a med-surg position, and if I am hired for a med-surg position in the United States, am I allowed to switch to a different position before migrating, or do I have to remain in the med-surg role?
Yeah. No, the answer is you can certainly switch, provided it is still a bedside, hands-on nursing position. I think that is certainly not an issue whatsoever. So if you have an opportunity to expand your clinical horizons, again, as long as it's a bedside, hands-on nursing position in an acute care setting, not a problem.
Okay. Yeah, right. We're done with the Q&A, so back to you, Ron.
All right. Well, CJ, thanks for your help. Thank you to everyone that joined us today. It's been a real privilege for me and a pleasure, as always, to spend this time with you. I hope something was shared here today that is not only of interest, but is of help to you. Please be on the lookout for the email where you'll have a link provided to you with the recording of our presentation. And because we are at that time of year where the Christmas season is upon us, I'd like to just wish everyone that's joined us today all the best for the upcoming holiday and Christmas season. Wishing you all the best and great success in 2024, wherever life's journey may take you. And if you are looking to live and work in the United States, the Worldwide Health Staff team would consider it a great privilege to be able to walk alongside with you on your journey to the United States. Thank you. We look forward to connecting with you again soon. Keep in touch with us on Facebook. We've got some fantastic webinar topics coming up in January, including H-1B visas for nurses. So be on the lookout for those. Look forward to connecting soon. Thank you, and bye for now.